couldn't have chosen a more worse time to start recording something. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're done. We're done. Ignore this horn that I'm growing below my mouth here. That's ugly. I'm not going to develop body dysmorphia because of this. Anyway, Ian Walker. No, you don't care about what I'm doing. I don't care. You don't care about what I'm doing at all. Not at all. Hey guys, what's up? This is Ian Walker here again with another vlog of my artist journey. I was gonna do a vlog yesterday, but didn't get around to it. One, because it's hot. Number two, somebody was outside running the lawnmower and stuff, so I couldn't get a good I couldn't get good sound where I'm at. I was annoyed, so I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try. I'm just stop, and I ended up doing some other stuff. Here in Alabama, I'm here at my folks' house. I'm out helping them out. So there was some projects that I was doing. So I just decided to go ahead and do that and save the recording till tomorrow, which is today. And yeah, that's what I decided to do. So that's why I'm here right now, doing the vlog now. So just some things I haven't recorded in a few days. I just wanted to kind of give an update. I am slacking off on Inktober. Let's get that out the way. 7 days strong, 7 more days, not a dang thing drawn. So I need to catch up because I really do want to finish Inktober, and I got that book. I do want to finish that booklet because it's important to me. I need to finish it up. I need to feel like something in my artist endeavor that I have. If I can finish this challenge, this is going to show me that I can actually complete something. So I'm going to actually take some time to get some of these drawings done. You know what I think threw me off is some of the prompts. Because some of the prompts, I think they just throw some random words in there. It's like, what am I going to draw that? So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to borrow for some other prompts that they created for Inktober, but their own versions. And I'm just going to go from the days that I couldn't do, that I can't figure something out. I'll draw that. And then anything that I can draw from the regular Inktober prompt, I'll do that. And I'll just write it down on where I got the thing that I'm doing the prompt from. I think that'll be better. That way, I still have some control and I'm not slacking off and I'm not just completely ignoring it altogether. Because that wouldn't be good, guys. That just wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good. So some things that I'm working on as of right now. As an artist, I have a variety of things that I'm working on. The podcast is something I'm working on. I'm dropping the ball slightly in that arena. Reason why is because I'm not recording the audio part well to put into the podcast form. On YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, all that, it's up. It's a video podcast. So I guess it kind of works, but I need that audio medium as well. And I've fallen behind in doing that, and that is bad form. I can't be doing that. So I need to get on that. Again, a new episode of the Chill and Sketch podcast, episode 3 is going to be up this week. I'm going to be recording on Friday Live, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. So look out for that because I will be doing that. I don't know what subject I'm going to study yet. I'll probably be talking some more about some things that I'm planning on doing. So, look out for that. I'll have some information as the week goes on and I figure out where I want to go as far as subjects are concerned. In regard to my my other projects, things that have just happened over the last couple of days. It's been crazy. Here in Alabama, I've been here so far for about 2 weeks. And I have discovered some crazy stuff. And I'm thinking, I'm working on doing some projects, especially my main comic book project, tentatively titled Pantheon. And working on getting that started and done. Working on the second half of the first issue script so that I can get that done and get that get that started. This past weekend, I went to a comic convention, the Alabama Comic Con, which was an awesome show. It was super inspirational. And I met some creator-owned artists who have their own books. You give me a second here. I'm going to grab one of the deals here. Let me move this out of frame too, so I don't look ugly. One of the artists was there and had a deal that I think I'm just walking past it. No, where's the book? I can't find it. Okay. He has a book. Oh, here it is. It was two people. My dad. It was two artists who black creator-owned artists, and has a superhero called Fierce, which was cool. I appreciated that. The book is called Fierce, and I forget the name is Raymond something, but he's a Alabama-based artist and has an independent superhero there. And then I met a guy named Timothy D. Cribs, who is the author and artist and creator of a book created called Graven Circle. You see that here. This impressed me to no end. His presentation, let me show y'all some pages of his art. This is a very unique style of comic that he's put together. It's not your traditional American comic book format. He doesn't have the word balloon. I mean, he has words in it, of course, but there's not, the word balloons or anything like that. But the art in this book is very, very cool. He's gotten 2 graphic novels done, each graphic novel individually telling the story of each person. So far, he's in book 2. I believe he's going to have like 5 books total or 6 books total. So he's down 2, which is interesting because Pantheon is that same thing for me. That graphic novel is a one-shot story that tells the full origin story of Pantheon, how he gets to Earth, what his story is, and what his part is in coming to Earth. And so it was nice to see somebody there who had already done that, because it showed me that it's possible and it can be done, especially as an indie comics creator. I want to get a hold of him later on. He didn't have business cards. He didn't have any of that stuff, so I couldn't really follow him. It sucks. I got him on Instagram. He's on there as Graven Circle. But so I'll probably get in touch with him again to kind of knock some ideas off, back and forth. But he even created a board game out of his characters, which is really cool because he has a love for board games, and I'm a sucker for board games. So the whole thing altogether costs like $50. It's 2 of his graphic novels. It's this one, and there's another one I got somewhere around here. It's put in a nice box. He's got like this rubber bracelet that's really cool that has Graven Circle on it, and the game is like flawless. It looks really cool. It's like a miniature board game, so it's kind of small, but the pieces and things that are in the game in the board game are pretty small, but they're really solid. And that was one of the things that really stood out, was the preparation and the presentation of his book. I was thoroughly impressed, and it really impressed on me how important it is to have a body of work when you go to a Comic Con. You might be selling, you might be selling fan art and prints and things like that. But it's going to be important that you have a body of work that you can stand behind and that really represents you as a comic artist and as a creator. And it's something that I was kind of going back and forth with for a while. It's like, do I want to go to a con where I'm just having prints and all of this stuff? But it moved me to start really getting going on Pantheon and finishing that script up, so that I could at least have something. And then there's other decisions that have to be made in regard to how I want to go about, putting the book together. I'm most likely going to be putting this together, out of pocket. So it's going to be important that is the case there. And there's certain decisions that I'm going to be making also in regard to how I want to put together the book, what kind of talent that I want on the book, things like that. So that was one thing that really inspired me and was like, man, kind of got me ready, kind of back in that mode of really desiring to go back to conventions and showcasing my talent and showcasing my artwork again to everybody than before. The last comic book situation I had before was kind of rough, not gonna lie, because I didn't sell anything. I wasn't successful. It was really bad. It kind of left a traumatic mark. And after that, I hadn't done cons again for years. And so this is going to be my first foray back into that. So the first con I'm going to be attending is the Onyx Con, which is at the end of this month. So it's not next weekend, but it'll be the following weekend on the 28th to the 31st, I believe. And I'm sorry, the 22nd to the 24th, I believe it is. And I'm going to be doing that. It's a virtual con. So I need to get it together with ordering all the things that I need to order. Or, depending on how it works, I may just go ahead and do a pre-order type thing. And while at the same time just grabbing stuff and making orders for physical cons that I'm going to be going to later. I've signed up for like 3 cons so far. I actually signed up for the Comic-Con, which is in February of next year, which is the biggest comic convention in Alabama. It's a 3-day convention, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I signed up for that. Hopefully I'll get accepted to that because it's an anime gaming convention. So I'm hoping to get into that con. That's going to be a huge one. And it's the most popular one in the state, I believe. And it's funny because I didn't even hear about it. I honestly came up on it completely by accident. So I'm excited to learn about that. So anyways, that was my biggest experience there. At the con, I met the Power Rangers. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan, for those of you that don't know already. I met Austin St. John and Walter E. Jones and Jason Alvey, Paul Schreier. And they were great dudes. They were really great dudes. Very cool. Very nice. They spoke to me and my dad. I mean, I make sure whenever I meet a celebrity, I may get starstruck like inside, but outside, I'm like, I just talk to them like normal human beings, So, and there were some questions that I had gotten answered. The one that impressed me the most, though, out of all of them, both me and my dad included, was Austin St. John. That's the man who played Jason in the original series. That guy is a stand-up dude. I honestly wish I could have had like an hour with him just to go back and forth and talk. There was a lot of things as a Power Ranger fan that I have questions about in the original series. And one of the burning questions that always bugged me even as a kid was when the White Ranger got promoted. when Tommy came back and White Ranger got promoted, he just got booted out of his position as leader. Even as a kid, I was like, man, that's jacked up. Like, I'd have been screaming at Zordon, like, hey, bruh, hold up, no, now. But as I got older, I'm sure that I kind of put 2 and 2 together and realized there were probably some things that happened behind the scenes. And I finally got that question answered, and it was super cool. And based on the answers that he gave, kind of gave me insight to who Austin St. John was. I even went to his panel, went to the Power Ranger panel with all 4 of them there, which was great. It was a lot of fun. And they're just great, down-to-earth dudes. And I started my Power Ranger collection of art, because when I move back to California and get my place, I'm going to start my little Power Ranger, not shrine, I won't say shrine sounds weird, but I got an autograph photo with Walter Jones, and then the autograph photo of Austin St. John with both the characters he played. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a photo where it showed him as Red Ranger and the Gold Zeo Ranger, who is my second favorite Sixth Ranger. And yeah. So, you know, I don't do cosplay, but if I ever did a cosplay, I would probably go as the Gold Zeo Ranger. Or the Magna Defender. Those are the two I would go as. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah. So that was really cool. I got some pictures and stuff and some memories that's gonna last for a minute. And I really hope I'll run into them again in the future. And hopefully be able to chop it up with them for a little bit longer. So real quick, another thing that happened, I'm a comic book fan. I'm starting to do a collection of graphic novels instead of individual comic books like I used to. Found this place in Alabama called Ollie's, okay? They had everything you can imagine there. These guys had comic books, graphic novels, okay? Check this, graphic novels. These things easily range from $15 to $25, up to $40, depending on what it is. These dudes had these graphic novels, okay, for $4 a pop. Four. I went ham. I went stupid. So I went and got Action Comics, Why This Looks Sick, because Superman and Lex Luthor are on the cover, both Superman. I had to read this story because this just got me. Titans 1, after DC Rebirth, the Titans graphic novel volume 1 is there, The Return of Wally West. I had to get, again, Funeral for a Friend, a classic Superman story. This is from the Funeral on, including, I think, the Superman. So you're going to see all kinds of mullets in here. A lot of long hair, Lex Luthor Jr. clone. Had to get that. We got Batman. Okay. And then the Batman Catwoman Wedding album. Hardbound, hardcover, $4. I'm going to go back and get these. Get whatever they have left. I'm going to go back and get these. Why? Because I got to play it. But the prize of them all, after I show you this, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my video blog. Jack Kirby, 100th Celebration Collection. Anybody in comics who knows comics knows that Jack Kirby is the legend in both DC and Marvel. This is DC. This is his DC work. There's no Marvel work here. So there's DC work. That means, what do we got? New Gods, baby. New Gods. So we got some of the early work. We got the origin of the New Gods in here. I am so excited to read this. Yeah. So major finds. And your boy's got a plan. So anyways, that's it for my vlog today. My video blog. Thank you guys for listening to me rant and prattle on and stuff. As I continue to do more and as I get more, as more stuff happens, of course, I'm gonna put up my video log and continue to, hopefully, like I said, hopefully this inspires you. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, leave them in the comments below. If you like what you hear on my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell at the top, share with your friends, whatever. And I hope you're enjoying this case study of the artist's journey. And yeah, that's what I say. So till next time, I'll catch you guys later. You guys have a good one. Take care.